What is going down? What the fuck is going down, guys? It is your boy, Studio Maguyver, and you are listening to Studio Maguyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. Welcome to the show. If you're new to the podcast, welcome to the show, guys. If you're into anime, if you are into video games, then you've come to the right place because we talk about all of that shit here. Got a banger today. This is podcast episode 235. Got a lot to talk about, guys. We got some Dragon Ball GT. We have Tokyo Game Show. And we also have some Nintendo Switch rumors, some pretty big ones actually. And then a little some news on some Xbox Gamepass stuff. Something I didn't even know, something that slipped by my radar, which I can't believe. I don't know if I was sleepy or if I smoked so much Indo or I had too much sake, but it missed me, and I can't believe I missed it. But found out through a YouTube video of all things, and I'm happy that I did. I will discuss that as well. But anyway, let's begin the show, guys. I hope everybody had a dope week. I got a chance to watch some Dragon Ball GT. To all my listeners, especially the ones who are new to the show, I told my listeners that I would finish and start Dragon Ball GT. It's a series that I, have not, one of the only series from Dragon Ball that I have not seen in its entirety, especially recently, and I'm doing that now. But I got to episode 32, so I went from 26 to 32, 6 episodes, and I must say, it was really good. It was really interesting, and there was some, was it perfect? No. When it comes to the fighting, everything moves quickly in GT. You know what I mean? Because I'm thinking about the other characters, the cornerstone villains. I'm thinking about, Super 17. I'm thinking about, who else? I think Shinron. I'm thinking about characters like that I haven't seen yet. And we're already in the 30s. So it's only 62 to 64 episodes in the series. So I'm like, wow, okay. They're going to cram all of this stuff, all these arcs in here. And they've done a pretty good job, man, because shit just took off extremely fast. And, I can't complain. The only thing if I had to complain about anything up to this point would be the choreography and some of the, how the fights are kind of drawn out. Now, like I said, I still know that there's more fighting to come that could change. But right now, from what I've seen, it was okay. It wasn't anything outrageous or anything like that. It's a lot of key being thrown around. But anyway, let's get to what happened between episode 26 and episode 32. If I remember correctly, I left off where it was Gotenks about to go up against Baby. Okay, and they were about to square off and get into it, and that's what happened. Long story short, Baby basically takes over Gotenks' body. He gets in there. And keep in mind that keep in mind that Baby is getting stronger every day. Okay, he tried to do that with Trunks earlier on in the series, and I'll get to that later. But he tried that. Trunks went Super Saiyan, kicked him out of his body. But in the end, Baby, was the one who laughed last. But anyway, Baby finally got to take over Gotenks, and Gotenks was not strong enough to kick him out, so to speak. So he basically lost that battle, the internal battle, and he got his body taken hostage. Okay, so then Gotenks starts tripping and is trying to get to Vegeta. Really, his ultimate goal is to get to Vegeta or just get to any Saiyan he can. And he realizes that he runs into Gohan because Gohan comes home, to visit. And he said, oh shit, this guy is even stronger than Gotenks. So let me take his body. So they got into it and they ended up fighting. And of course their attitude changed because they were, Gotenks' attitude changed because he was, he wasn't himself. So he was, talking shit to his mom, and I thought that shit was funny. He was telling her shut the fuck up, basically low key. And she was upset. Like, I can't believe my children are delinquents, so on and so forth. But they weren't themselves. Anyway, Gotenks goes and fights Gohan. They get into it. And then he gets Gohan and takes over Gohan. So I'm like, oh shit, I see where this is going. He's going to basically take fucking everybody. So of course Vegeta's next on the hit list. So we go back to Vegeta, and he's literally driving Brawl, his daughter, home from the mall after buying her so much shit. Okay, there's gifts stacked to the fucking ceiling, coming out, spilling out of the car. They had to strap all the stuff down to the car so it wouldn't, it wouldn't spill over. And Vegeta, I guess these guys roll up on him, okay, and they're hitting on his daughter. All right, and they say, "Yo, why don't you just, drop this old geezer or whatever?" I guess they thought she was with him, and get rid of that old man and come with us. And Vegeta went, Vegeta went ape shit on them boys, man. He basically tore off the steering wheel in their car and basically chunked them into the fucking lake. Okay. Yeah, Vegeta ain't playing. And his daughter was basically telling the guys, "Oh, I'm sorry, my dad is really strong." But Vegeta ain't playing with his kids, man. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, that's the only, I think his family are the only ones that could talk to him the way that they do and just get a pass and do what they want and get a pass. Anybody else do that shit? Nah, you're not doing it. Okay. I really like Vegeta's character in GT up until this point. I have to say that everything from his design up to, how he carries himself, all of the things, even the little inside jokes with the shaving cream and the mustache and all that shit. I think that's dope. The, taking the shopping trip with his daughter, he's become actually a pretty cool family man. Vegeta goes and comes and goes as he wishes, as what his wife always says, but he still, does things that, fathers are supposed to do when it comes to their kids, especially their daughters. If you're a father of a daughter, that it is, they have a certain power that boys don't have over you. You know what I mean? You can talk to your son and you can be firm with your son, but when it comes to your little girl, you can't do that. It's just very hard. And, I have a new baby girl and, I already know it's over. I already know that I've lost the battle before I even started to fight. So she's going to have me wrapped around her finger, and it's just what it is. You know what I mean? I've accepted it. Okay. And that's the same thing when you look at Vegeta, you see it, you know what I mean? And I love that about GT. And so we get to that point. But anyway, long story short, they end up finding Vegeta and Gotenks and Gohan. So, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on? Why are you guys so agitated towards me?" And he realizes that this shit don't look good. Okay, this shit doesn't look good. He tells Bra, "Hey, go home." And she's like, "Why?" And he's like, take your ass home." You know what I'm saying? Get in the fucking car and get the fuck out of here now. So she finally gets the hint. She takes off, goes home, and now they're facing off and fighting each other. And, Vegeta's holding his own at first. And then, of course, during the fight, he's cut multiple times purposely. They did it low key, small little cuts all over his body to make it easy for baby to, what's the word I'm looking for? For letting baby get inside, pause, and take over his body. Okay. And it ended up happening. Vegeta tried his hardest to fight it. Really, all of them did. But like I said, their mind was taken over and they couldn't fight any longer and they lost that battle. So once Vegeta's body was taken over, it was a wrap. This guy was full power and he slowly transformed, and he had basically all the other Saiyans and everybody else give him energy, and made him into Super Baby. And he was just a force to be reckoned with. He could not be fucked with. And then he ended up getting into it with Kid Goku, and killing Kid Goku, low key. Okay. Just a lot of shit going on. So Goku is on the Kais, on planet with the Kais or whatever, fucking with them, and they're telling him, we're trying to get this tail. You got the little nub on his butt, like the little nub, like if the tail was amputated or something. And then they basically said it's going to be painful, but this is the only way we can, have you able to defeat baby with his power, the power the way it is. So he agrees to it, and basically they spend all day trying to stretch out that little nub where a tail used to be, to basically give him a tail again. Okay, accelerate the growth, so to speak, because I guess Super Saiyan 4 is in the future, in the horizon. But that's what they're doing there. In the meantime, everybody is over. I mean, baby Vegeta has taken over everybody. His wife, his daughters, everybody is under that spell, so to speak. Everybody has been invaded. So it's just his own his own world. He's sitting on the throne just chilling, right? And basically he goes. The only one that hasn't turned yet is Pan. So Pan ends up, getting there, talking about, what's going on. Mom, Pop, what are you guys doing? And Baby tells them, hey, let's kill her. You need to kill her. She's being defiant. Take her out. Yada yada. They fucking try to kill her. They literally go try to kill her. She can't reason with them because they're not themselves. And she is saved by, believe it or not, she is saved by Boo. I mean, not Boo, Oob. Oob touches down. He interrupts the kill. And I'm like, yo, okay. So Oob's in here. Oob's trying to fight. He's hanging in there for a second, but he realizes that he's no match. And he loses a key blast battle. And he gets basically key raped by Baby Vegeta. And he's out of there. You know what I'm saying? He's beat up and he's hurt. Also, Majin Buu is in this. Majin Buu, and you have Mr. Satan. And Majin Buu can't be affected either. For some reason, he's able to spit out. His body is able to pinpoint where the invasion took place, and then take it and get it out of his body. For whatever reason, he's able to do that. He's also able to digest or ingest people if he wants to. Shrinks them down, turns them into cookies and shit, eats them, and keeps them inside his body for safekeeping. He can travel with them like that. I mean, it's crazy. But anyway, he's able to do that. But anyway, you know how Boo is like best friends with Mr. Satan. So Mr. Satan is like, look, get us out of here. Let's take Pan. These guys, we're not going to win this fight. Oob is not going to win this fight. Let's just get us out of here. So he does. He takes them, maybe about a mile away, if that, from the scene of everything that's going down. And Booz just tells him, he says, hey, look, I really like you. You're my best friend, Mr. Satan, but there's something in me that's calling to go help Oob. And come to find out, their history. I mean, he was basically made from Boo. So that's how he was created. So he went back, told him that, he'll always remember him and all this stuff. Like he knows he's going to die or something. I don't know. And he leaves, and as he's leaving, of course, Mr. Satan's crying, boo, boo, crying, you know what I mean? Tell him not to leave, but he leaves anyway. And he ends up finding out where Oob is at. He sees him, and they merge together. And when they merge together, it creates, I guess you want to call it Super Oob. I don't know, but basically he has a vest on, and his outfit changes a little bit, and he's super powered up. And right there is where we leave off. That was the end of episode 32. So I mean, there's a lot of little things here and there that happen in between that, but those things that I discussed with you guys are the main tropes. These are like the main high points, or you want to call them hot spots or whatever, in those episodes that took place. So that's where we're at. We're on episode 33 next. So I should at least be able to get another 6 episodes done, 6 to 10 episodes done between now and next week's podcast. So looking forward to that. Gonna sit down and watch that, and then I will discuss this GT shit with you. So yeah, man, it hasn't all been bad. There's some good things out here in GT, and for whatever reason, a lot of people really shit on GT, but there are some people who actually care about GT a lot and like it a lot. And for me, I'm kind of like if I had to pick a word to describe GT right now from what I've seen, I would call it decent right now. And I mean, and that's only because of the last, handful of episodes. Honestly, if you're going to watch GT, it's going to be hard for most people, in my opinion, to get through the first like 22, 23 episodes, man. If you can get through that, it looks like it's going to be a pretty good ride the rest of the way. Like, I can't speak. I still have about 30 episodes left, but I mean, as of right now, it has heated up. And like I said, when you start introducing, Vegeta and all these other things, it gets interesting. The thing that really rubs me the wrong way, and I can't help it. It's just something that I'll always feel when it comes to GT, is the fact that Goku is a child. I mean, that whole thing of how he got, how he got transformed into a kid and all that. I really don't like it. It doesn't make any sense. And I wish we could have just had adult Goku in here, and it just would have, been a little bit better. But that's where I'm at right now. I'll retouch on this, guys, next week, and then we'll dive deeper into Dragon Ball GT. Now let's move on from Dragon Ball. I don't have any manga to discuss right now, but when I do, I'm talking about Dragon Ball Super, I will bring it to you guys' attention. And then I think when I finish GT, I'm gonna go for some other topics. I think I'm gonna start some fan made stuff, maybe even fan made manga. I don't know which direction I'm gonna go, but either any one of those are gonna be cool because I can definitely pick out some dope stories and have some pretty tight Dragon Ball discussions on this podcast with you guys. All right, but let's move to the Tokyo Game Show. This is the next topic at hand, and I want to talk a little bit about this. For me, it was a letdown. I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels that way. It was a lot of rehashing from a lot of games, especially when we're talking about Microsoft, because they were there and they were just rehashing things that we already knew, and for the Japanese audience, so to speak, and that's what happened. There were a couple bright spots, I mean, if you want to call it that, and there were some things that left me highly frustrated. I mean, I really felt that my body has been draped in premium butter, and I feel that I was incapacitated and I was used very wrong in somebody's closet at night, and somebody did some strange things to me. Okay, with this butter, with sake, and you can throw some endo in there as well. But hey, it is what it is. Earth Defense Force 6. I don't know if you guys know about this game, but it's a pretty popular franchise amongst. It's a very niche kind of franchise. There's a lot of diehard fans on this series. There's not many, but the ones that are very, very passionate about this. And I mean, they have to be. I mean, why else would you keep making these games? If the game didn't sell enough, then they would not have 6 games. Okay. And right now, this is the 6th game. It's basically a game where you're dropped off into a map, usually like a city, in ruin, so to speak. And then you're a part of a special military force. And basically the city or area is being invaded by like giant sized creatures, think Godzilla, think King Kong type creatures, right? And your job, of course, is to eradicate them, okay, by any means necessary. Bazookas, fucking machine guns, all kinds of different contraptions, like special bots and things of that nature. And the shit is just really fun. Me and a friend was going to play. We had an opportunity to play it. I want to say there was a sale or something. I just wish I would have pushed play on it. But I'm going to buy one of these games because there's a shit ton of them on, I think, PS4 for sure, and it's mainly a PS4 game. Right now, it's slated for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, and this franchise typically it's a PlayStation game right now for the most part. I think PC may have a couple of those on there, but for the most part, it's a PlayStation type of thing, and it's Japanese. It's so Japanese. Once you see it, you understand what I'm talking about. And I don't know, they make some pretty dope games. They make some pretty unique games. They make shit that not a lot of people in the West play. But if you're talking about a certain demographic, which I'm definitely a part of, and a lot of you guys would probably be as well, that Japanese culture, a lot of things that they do over there, I love. I mean, I love the culture. I love everything, lots of things. I don't want to say everything, but so many things that they do, and the way that they carry themselves and things of that nature over there, and just the way that they think when it comes to creating, like, their minds are just on another level sometimes, if you ask me, as far as, creativity and where their minds are able to go. Think about all the anime that we've watched. If you're an anime guy or girl, think about if you really step outside yourself and think, do you know how fucking smart you'd have to be to write, and how, how creative you'd have to be to write something like Dragon Ball or something like Naruto, Tokyo Ghoul. There's so many of them out here. One Piece, One Punch. I mean, these are things that you just can't make up. I mean, even if you wanted to, there's a structure to it. There's a lot that goes into all these things, man. And these guys do this shit. And Same thing goes for the video game industry, what they're able to do. That's why I love a lot of their games, niche games that a lot of people in the West wouldn't care for, but I eat the shit up, and those are the people that, this game, Earth Defense Force 6, caters to. So if you don't know about this game, if you're not familiar with the game, definitely check it out. It may be something you might want to play, and then add a couple friends, get together. I mean, it's fucking fun. I can see this shit being so fucking over the top fun and just blowing shit up. So yeah, definitely check that game out. Now, next game I want to talk about is, man, I'm really salty about this game, and I'll tell you why. The game is Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier. Okay, it's set in the universe of Final Fantasy VII, which most people listening to this who are fans of that series or franchise, they might say, "Well, Studio Maguyver, why all the bullshit? Why all the salt?" Because it's a fucking mobile game. Okay, it's a fucking mobile game, and I hate mobile games. I'm not gonna say I hate them, but I don't like them very much. Okay, hate is a strong word because there are some mobile games out there that are decent, but I'm just not a mobile game player. Put it like that. And it just kills me when people take these franchises and they waste it, which I feel that it is just my opinion. Somebody else could feel completely different, and that's fine as well. But I feel like they're wasting these franchises, and some of these franchises, and they should be using it, on a more popular scale. This game could have been really really done a really well way, and it could have been done on console. Okay, I know they have certain budgets, and we got a limited budget, so let's do this here. And I know when the preview played, I was like, wait a minute, something doesn't seem right here. This shit looks janky, and it doesn't. And then lo and behold, it's a mobile game. So I said, it makes sense now. It's a mobile game. I don't know, man. They just need to slow down with these mobile games because, now I'm not going to say they all suck because they all don't, but I'm just tired of, franchises, games that we're waiting on from, AAA studios should be making, and we're getting these mobile spinoffs and stuff like that. That just, it always pisses people off. You know what I mean? You mean to tell me we haven't had a Splinter Cell game in so many years, and you want to put out a Splinter Cell mobile game? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm serious. And that's what I'm talking about. That's how I feel. But anyway, it is what it is. This is my opinion, and I'll leave it at that. But hey, you guys may be looking forward to that. Check out Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier on your mobile devices. Yeah, I also be looking out for that Warm Butter DLC coming very soon as well. So, hey, some people love it. I can't speak and say the same. But let's move on to the next game. And this is a game that a lot of people shit on, when it first came out. And there was actually a demo available on the PlayStation 5. I think it's still available. I don't know how they do their demos because I don't have a fucking PlayStation 5 yet because I can't find one still. But this game is Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy. Okay. And this is the game that takes place like in the world of Final Fantasy. And it's a action RPG game, and it's I want to say Team Ninja Theory. Somebody of that stature made the game. I can't remember which one, but it's definitely they've cleaned it up a lot. It looks a lot better than what it did before, and I think a lot of the things or problems that were getting people the fits was the fact that what they were wearing, like they didn't look like they were in the world of Final Fantasy. They looked, how'd they look? They just look very generic. I mean, he's running around with a fucking regular ass t-shirt from Walmart. You know what I'm saying? With a sword in his back, like, bro, and some jeans from like the Gap and shit. And I'm like, yo, bro, you're supposed to be from Final Fantasy in the world. It just didn't. It didn't spell Final Fantasy. It didn't smell like Final Fantasy at all. You know what I mean? It looked like somebody put some shit together and slapped the name on there and said, look, we're gonna make money. And that's not how it should be done. And I think they took the criticism to heart and changed up some shit. Combat looks a lot better as well, a little smoother. And I figured when the game does eventually come out and release, it's going to be a more polished product. And that's what we want. And now I'm thinking about giving this game a try. I'm not saying going to buy it day one or anything like that. It definitely would be like, a sell or something still for me. I have to see a little bit more. But I do dig those kind of games. I do dig that engine. And I do dig Team Ninja and Ninja Theory, those guys. So, who knows? It may be a buy later, but I don't know. $70, $75 though? No, I don't think so right now. But it has picked it up, and a lot of people are very excited for this game now. Anything with Final Fantasy, on it, a lot of people are going to jump on, and you don't. A lot of people shit on it at first because it is what it was in the Final Fantasy world. It has Final Fantasy attached to it, and usually when you think Final Fantasy, you think like the creme de la creme, you think Excelente, you think the top of the line, all those things usually associated with Square Enix and what they do. So if you slip, you're going to get called out on it. And I kind of think that more developers should definitely put out like demos and things of that nature and alpha builds for people to look at and critique. That way they know, what the people do want and what they don't want. Because back in the day, when you made a game, you just you made it, and you in your mind and your team is saying, I think this game is dope, and we're gonna put it out. And then once it's out, it's out. There's nothing if it's a shit game, and you can find out later it's a shit game, and you find out reasons why people didn't like the game. It's too late to turn back, and it is what it is. But now you can actually put out stuff, and you can get criticism, constructive criticism on some of this stuff, and then you can say, oh, they don't really like this, they really hated this, 80% of the people hate it. Okay, let's go back and change this, and let's look at that. You know what I mean? I don't know why some of these developers think that the consumer or the consumers are slow. You know what I mean? And don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and not gonna get called out or whatever you want to call it, on some of these things, because it's ridiculous. They think everybody's walking around here full of sake and full of endo smoke, and it's not true. Okay. Everybody's passionate, especially the really, really passionate fans and gamers. I mean, you're gonna get called out. They're gonna find everything. They're gonna dissect a 2-second video, and they're gonna find the discrepancies in the fucking report. They're gonna find the butter. Okay, that's what I'm saying. You can't put butter on your product and sit it out here and expect that it's not gonna get found. All right, these motherfuckers are walking around with gloves, butter detective gloves. Okay, butter detect gloves, special gloves made specially to fucking pinpoint butter. Okay, the fuckery, and they will expose you. And don't think that for a second that you're going to get away with it. And that's the world we live in now. It's just what it is, and accept it. I mean, we're in the social media age where everybody has a platform, and everybody, you can't lie to the public anymore. You can't hide shit from the public. They're going to find out. Okay? It's just what it is now. So, take that and embrace it. Embrace it and use it to help your company and help your game. I mean, don't be offended by that. Take that as constructive criticism. We want to love your games. I mean, we want to love Square Enix. We want to love our favorite companies. We want them to do well. So if you're putting something out that's shit, or there's something about it that's shit, and a lot of people or the majority think that, and they tell you that, then that says, look, you might want to go change this if you're trying to make money. Because at the end of the day, this is a fucking business. At the end of the fucking day, everybody's goal is to make money. Okay, at the end of the day, to make some sort of turn in profit on what they put out. All right, that is the main goal at the very end of the day. If you can make people happy at the same time, I mean, that is it. It's hard to do a lot in the gaming industry, because we have a lot of fuckers out here that only care about money, and they say, fuck the fans, we don't care, we're gonna monetize everything. But there's a lot of companies that I highly respect, and I know that are out there to truly cater to the actual gamers out here in these video game streets. So those are the ones I'm speaking of, and if everybody took those notes and ran with it, I think we'd be a lot better. You know what I mean? And I'm speaking for the gaming industry. That's just me. But anyway, be looking out for that game, guys. If you haven't seen the trailer, which is about 2.5 minutes long, I think the new trailer of Stranger in Paradise, check it out. Now, there was one really, really bright spot. The only one I really, really saw from this Tokyo Game Show, and it was a game that goes by the name of Arise of Awakener. The crazy thing about this game is I can't find out who developed this game. I can't find out who's publishing this game. Like when you go to the video, it doesn't have any information. I Googled it. I've been looking and I cannot find it. The video that they show is, I don't know how many minutes. I want to say a few minutes, maybe 3.5 minutes or something like that. And it tells you that, early development or whatever. This is the developmental build or whatnot. But the shit looks good. And the first thing I thought of, and I'm not the only one, the vibe I caught off of it was it had strong Dragon's Dogma vibes on this game. If you don't know about Dragon's Dogma, if you've never heard of this game, when you get a chance, just Google it. I think Capcom has it in them to make a dope RPG. You know, don't think that Capcom is all about fighting games and shit like that. Their Monster Hunter series is dope, but they can fucking put together a fucking RPG, action RPG. Okay, a dope JRPG if they want to. And Dragon's Dogma is their creme de la creme. Okay, I love that. One of my top 5 RPGs all time is Dragon's Dogma. Okay, and if you haven't played it, man, you need to play it. They have it if you have a PS4. There's a HD version of that you can pick up, probably really for the cheap right now, and I highly recommend it, man. Yeah, Dragon's Dogma is the shit, and this just screams that vibe. I mean, you had like assassin builds. I saw like sorcerer builds. I seen, of course, your sword and shield, your warrior type of build. The really cool thing about this game, though, that I really fucking can't wait to dive into, is the game looks like it's gonna be huge, and I say that because there's literally a scene where you're actually flying a dragon. Okay, like you're sitting on top of a dragon, flying him throughout the world. And I was like, wow, okay, you're actually flying. You're not on horseback riding around or anything. No, you're flying. And then you can actually have ships as well. There are ships in this game, airships to be exact as well. Like, so you can fly by sea. I mean, you can travel by sea. You can travel by air in a fucking airship. I mean, it looks crazy, man. I don't know how extensive they're gonna go into this, but anytime you see somebody taking flight, then it's gonna be a pretty big game. So, man, I would love to know who's publishing this game. I really will fucking would. And I'm sure that'll come to the light soon, and I'll definitely be retouched on that game. But definitely, the game is called Arise of Awakener. It's an action RPG game, and I think you guys should definitely check this one out. And honestly, I don't see this game until maybe 2023. Probably that's probably worth some time there, but it goes. I'm excited because we're getting all these games. We're getting a lot of these titles, and most of them we're not gonna get until the end of 2022 or 2023, and that's cool because, like I said, I was just so worried. I was so worried about this PS5 shit. Still am a little bit, but I know I'll have one by 2023. Okay, so. And then these games will be out, and a lot of these games, will drop in price a little bit, and become cheaper, and that's just the market we live in, which is cool. And I'm starting to embrace more so than not the mindset to wait on games. Okay, like don't buy them day one unless you absolutely have to, unless it's a game you were waiting for years, and everybody has a game like that they're willing to pay that and drop everything for it, even buy a collector's edition if there's one available. The Last of Us 2 was like that for me. Certain games are like that for me, and we all have those. But if there's games out there that we are excited to play, and I don't necessarily want to just jump the gun on those either. I just kind of like, maybe I should just sit back a second, and chill, and then didn't jump in. You know what I'm saying? And let the games, prices drop and everything like that. And because, my backlog is ridiculous right now. I'm just being honest. I have so many games that I have not even played yet. And now that I have the Game Pass and everything, it's more, there's more, even more, and I'll get to that in two shakes of a lamb's tail. But, man, it's crazy. So, I mean, I have plenty of shit that I can be doing, game-wise, to be worried about, new games, buying them right when they come out, and so I'm going to kind of chill on that. And let the games get cheaper and just really, when I have the time for it, because I'm busy right now and I don't have time for a lot of things. And, I have a little bit of time for gaming right now, but not enough to be, burying myself in. The last game I did that was Tales of Arise. And that was 81 hours, man. And I'm not going to have that much time to put in the game for a while. So I'm just, picking up a game, playing it here and there in bits and pieces. And that's what I'm kind of looking like now, for the foreseeable future, at least. You know what I mean? So I have plenty of things to do. I'm not going to just be rushing in and buying games if I'm not going to be able to play them, especially those big, huge, open world, those RPGs, and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. I'm gonna take a step back for a little bit and see what happens. You know what I mean? So let's move on from that. And I'm going to get to the last point and really my frustration with the Tokyo Game Show. And it's not really just on the Tokyo Game Show. It's really on just Square Enix, period. And I'm talking about, of all the games that were announced and shown and stuff like that, the one game that I am still waiting for any information is Final Fantasy 16. And there is no information, man. I mean, none. I've looked high and low, man. I'm like, where the fuck is this game? It's like they're purposely trying to just erase the game, erase info or news about this game. Like, are they in development hell right now? I do not know. But it's very worrisome, because if you don't remember, this game was slated for 2021. When the first fucking trailer came out, at the very end, it was 2021. A lot of people don't remember that. And I told you guys before that Sony was trying to fucking cook up this facade that all these games are coming out 2021 to try to get everybody to buy a fucking PlayStation 5. And they overkilled it, because now you can't find a 5 and you got scalpers and you got all this shit. So yes, they got everybody buying these PlayStations. They got them all sold. I hope they're happy with that. But now they have a lot of people who can't play them because they're in people's closets and, stores and shit waiting to be scalped. And that's just, it is what it is, but it's kind of fucked up. But Square Enix knows better. The fuckery is real, and we have no information on Final Fantasy 16 anywhere. Nobody's talking about it. They're having these big events, these Square Enix events. Literally, it's a Square Enix event, and there's no fucking Final Fantasy 16 news or info, period. And it doesn't make sense. It's like they really think we're that stupid or that dumb that no one's going to miss that. Like, we're going to put other things in here and just leave this out. Bitch, what the fuck? I mean, I don't know, man. I really want to play. That's one of my top 3. That's really one of the ones I'm really waiting for. Okay, because 15 was it was really mad to me. I didn't like the character design a lot. I didn't feel the aesthetics of the game, but 16, knock it out of the park. I mean, I love the backdrop of everything, and it's just a lot better, in my opinion. I mean, it's the vibe that, I associate with Final Fantasy most of the time when you think Final Fantasy. And this is the game I want, and this is the one I really want to play, and I have no information on it. I knew that 2021 was a fucking lie, but, I mean, can we at least get a release date window? I mean, that'd be cool. Can we get a 2022 release date? Can you just tell us it's coming in 2022? Can you just tell me that? And we can't even get that. So, hey, hopefully we hear something soon. I don't know, but I mean, I can hope. But I get frustrated with that. And, certain companies do this bullshit. They're not the only one. Okay. They did that same shit with Biomutant some years back, and they played everybody to the left, and then it came out, and yeah, it is what it is. It's a shitty mess. I'm not going to lie to you on PS4. I'm not playing it. I enjoyed my time with it, as buggy as it was, but I would rather enjoy that on a PlayStation 5, because my boys came to visit and they had a PlayStation 5 and it ran buttery smooth on their shit. My shit, no. Okay? And some people just don't, developers, and you got to look at the developers there too, because I really truly believe that these developers, I hope they're still working on, updates and things. I haven't played that game in months and months, but maybe there is an update now out that if I put that game back in, it would play a lot better, but if they can do that with The Last of Us 2 on a base PlayStation 4, and they can do that with God of War on a base PlayStation 4, then they should be able, as possible, to fix this game and make it run smooth on a fucking PS4. That's all I'm saying, because the proof is there. Just play those games on a base PlayStation 4 and with no hiccups, running buttery smooth, and you'll see what I'm saying, because those 2 games ran so fucking smooth, and I couldn't believe that they were able to accomplish that on a base PlayStation 4, man. And that's just hats off to the fucking devs for both of those games, because they look beautiful as fuck. I mean, god damn it, man. They do. So I'll leave that on the table and I'll walk away from it. But let's get to the Nintendo Switch rumors out here in these video game streets for you, okay? And one thing I want to say, Bloomberg fucking claims that a 4K Switch Pro is planned for late 2022, okay? And they say at least 11 companies, believe this shit or not, 11 companies, including Zynga, have software dev kits, okay, provided to them. So Nintendo basically said, here's our dev kits for the 4K version of our new Switch, and so you can make games for them. Okay, now Nintendo, of course, they're gonna deny this shit. They're gonna deny it to the end. And all these tricks in these games that these people play, the companies play now. I mean, it's almost hard because the gaming company, if they're a public company, you can't hide this shit. You know what I mean? And you have to report certain things to your investors. And, people aren't stupid. They're putting two and two together and they're finding out, this is happening, this is not happening. And then companies like Nintendo will lie and take it to the grave and claim that, oh, they're telling lies, and then turn right around and fucking come out with the shit when they said they would never do it. Okay. So I really don't trust Nintendo on this one. Okay. Nintendo claims that no, it's not, it's a lie and all of this and this. I don't trust Nintendo. Nintendo has done this so many times before. They've done it with the fucking 3DS. They've done it, man. Okay. I don't trust Nintendo when it comes to this shit. They beat to their own fucking drum. Let's keep it real with each other. I love Nintendo to death, but Nintendo definitely does have flaws within their genetic makeup. They do. They're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. And this right here, I would not be surprised if Nintendo came out with another fucking Switch. Okay, we already got like 3 or 4 of them out now. Shit, you know what I mean? Why wouldn't they drop another one in fucking 2022, like holiday season or some shit? You know what I mean? A 4K version. These motherfuckers, man. But they can't. They'll do all that. They'll drop all these Switch updates and all this shit. But these motherfuckers can't give us native voice chat. It reminds me of like, Master Roshi. I think of Master Roshi when it's like, okay, you got Master Roshi in the manga dodging punches from fucking Jiren, and you're using Ultra Instinct. Okay, but this nigga can't even fly. That's basically what I'm saying. Okay, when I'm talking about, what Nintendo's doing. That's the closest thing to my mind that I could fucking compare it to off the rip. And that's just what Nintendo does, so don't be surprised if Nintendo is going to come with another one. I'd really hold off on that Switch Pro, that Switch, the new Switch that's coming out now. I'd hold off on that one, especially if you have a fucking Switch. There's a lot of us who are huge Nintendo fans. They just want all the Switches. Anything that Nintendo puts out, they want to buy just so they can have it. And that's fine too. If you got the money and you want to do that, I mean, cool, but I'm a gamer's gamer. I'm going to play the game. If I have the system, I have it. I don't need to get another one, It's not a brand new system. It's not anything that has to be paid for the bought. I mean, it's going to do the same shit that the other one's going to do. It's just little things here and there that are changed on it. And I don't play portable. So, none of it makes sense for me per se, but hey, it is what it is, man, I guess, at the end of the day. I mean, if that's what you want and that's what you like and that's what makes you feel better at the end of the day, I mean, go ape shit, I guess, but that's just not how I would roll if I had the choice. Anyway, speaking about Nintendo Metroid Prime, the first Metroid Prime game, the 20th anniversary is coming up, and I think it's August of 2022. Now, supposedly, a company, Retro Studio, is been reported to be working on this game. Okay, I don't know if it's a remaster or a remake. It's one of them. I'm going to say it's going to be a remaster than a remake, because right now they're working on the 4, Metroid Prime 4 right now, and I think, that's going to be a whole new game. Now, a remake, they'd have to go back and just do everything. I think it's going to be a remaster. A lot of people are a little upset because they were wanting the trilogy, and Nintendo is going to bird feed everyone. Okay, let's just keep it real. They're not giving everybody the fucking trilogy. They're going to bird feed us. Now, could I be surprised and they drop the trilogy? Sure. I mean, they could. It makes sense to drop the trilogy right before 4 comes, or, within a year's time. That way people can get acclimated with the games leading up to the 4th one that they're working on now. That'd be cool. And I think these games should have been on the fucking Switch. I mean, believe it or not, I believe a lot of things Nintendo's doing isn't right, or I'd go about it differently. One of those things is their shop. Okay, I think that Nintendo should put all of their prior games from the Wii, from the GameCube, and all that. I think they should make them available like they did for the Wii U, and put it on their store so people can buy what they want. I mean, I think that they would make a killing. I say this all the time, and it would give it would give people the choice to do that, and then every once in a while, if you want to, put out a physical copy of said game, for collectors and people who want that. But Nintendo, like I said, they beat to their own fucking drum, and they're gonna do what they're gonna fucking do, and we'll leave it at that. But supposedly this is real. Metroid Prime will be dropping sometime in 2022, so get ready, guys. Hopefully this is a real thing, and this supposedly the source is supposedly a guy who is trusted on all fronts. So I think it's a thing. It was only a matter of time, I think, before they figured out a way to integrate that into the Nintendo Switch ecosystem. Now with them doing just one, or they're gonna give us the trilogy, that's still up in the air. But right now, what everybody's talking about, and the only proof we have is the first game being made right now. So I don't know what they're going to do with the other two, if we're going to get those at a later date, or if they plan on redoing those HD and those up later at a later date. Who knows? But Nintendo knowing Nintendo, they could fucking have a Nintendo Direct, and then they could fucking just stealth drop these motherfucking games. Okay. Oh, by the way, 2 and 3 are available right now. But I don't know. Here's what it is. Man, I'm getting sick, guys. I'm feeling under the weather, and it's not COVID, but it's I'm under the weather. I'm not feeling too good. I'm gonna get ready to wrap this up for you. But anyway, let me jump to the last section of the show, and I want to talk a little bit about Xbox Game Pass, because man, when I think they can't hit any harder, man, they just keep on fucking coming. All right, and we already got the fucking Marvel's Avengers on here now. My son has been playing it. I played like 2 hours of it. Ever since then, he's taken the controller completely over. He's completely came in here into his man cave and made it his own. I mean, I came in here, he was drinking tea and fucking, playing this game. And then I came back in here, a little bit later, and he was laying on the fucking futon, and he was watching one of his shows on fucking Disney, and just, he just completely took over the fucking man cave. So, it's all good. But he loves the game. He's playing it, and I'm like, well, fuck it, man. I'm not gonna step on your toes. And it's like 82 gigs though. It's a huge fucking game. All right. But I'll probably play it for a few weeks, burn out on it, and then fucking, take it off of there. Cause that's a lot of fucking space, man, on this Xbox Series S. I don't have an X. I got an S. So yeah, it's taking a lot of memory. But anyway, that's there. And there's a couple other games. There's RPG out. The name slips my mind. It's an old school RPG game. The graphics look beautiful. I forgot the fucking name of it, but it's available. But the one I wanted to talk about that I can't believe got past me is the fact Scarlet Nexus. Scarlet Nexus is now free on the Xbox Game Pass, and that's one I really wanted to play. I played the demo, enjoyed it, and it was a game I wanted to buy, but I just wasn't ready to pay full price for it. And thankfully, I didn't buy it, and now I can play it. And it's only fucking like 16 gigs. It's a very small game, I think, because of the cell shading, graphics and stuff like that. I've always been a fan of that, and it's an anime style game, kind of like Tales of Arise. And a lot of people who've played Scarlet Nexus says that if you like Scarlet Nexus, then you will enjoy Tales of Arise. So I love Tales of Arise, and so I know I'm going to enjoy. And I played the demo, so I know I'm going to enjoy this fucking game, Scarlet Nexus. So that's probably going to be the next game I jump in. And I'm going to take my time. I'm not going to rush it. I might play a little bit every day, maybe an hour or two a day. And that's probably the most gaming I see myself playing. I want to go back to Monster Hunter Rise as well eventually. But, I have a lot of stuff going on, guys, right now. And I'm going to dive in there. And I might be getting sick, so I might be out of commission for a few days as well. You know what I'm saying? But that's perfect time for gaming, though. If you can't do anything else, put a controller in your fucking hand. Okay, get your mind off of the sickness. But anyway, that is going to do it for the fucking show. But before I get out of here, I want to tell everybody also, man, Baki is back. Okay, Baki is on Netflix, and it's back. It just popped up, and I'm going to get into that, and I will be discussing that next week as well. So, yeah, get ready for that. If you don't know about Baki, the series on Netflix, please check it out. You're missing out. Yes, and also check out Kengan Ashura as well. It's awesome. Both of them are high impact, super ultra violent anime, bloody, teeth falling out your mouth, faces getting crushed. And extra shit and more. Okay, the butter is definitely pulled out on these anime, and if you like that high octane action, man, and those punishing fight scenes, a bunch of gory shit, then you probably want to fucking check out Baki. Okay, but anyway, before I get out of here, guys, please go to www.studiomaguyver.com. Check out all things Studio Maguyver, guys. Support the show there. If you buy merch, you can get hats, you can get hoodies, t-shirts, all those things, guys, stickers and stuff like that. Anything purchased will definitely help, and it will, help the show out tremendously. So I would definitely appreciate that. And I definitely want to thank everybody who's already done that very much. I appreciate everybody for doing that and showing your love and support for the show. Also, check out my YouTube channel. I have a Dragon Ball YouTube channel. It's called DBD247. That's short for Dragon Ball Drip. Every Tuesday at 4 o'clock, I discuss Dragon Ball topics. Okay, all things Dragon Ball. So who knows what I got a video coming up about Tien versus Krillin. I got a video coming up about, it's called Gohan Disrespected. Basically talking about how they've pretty much shit all over Gohan, as of late. So, things of that nature. I have these videos coming up. So definitely check those out and be looking out for those. Okay. With that being said, I'm going to get out of here now, man. I'm tired. I feel kind of hazy. I'm probably going to go hit an endo stick and I might pour me a small glass of sake and turn on some baki. And, after I edit these videos, these YouTubes and this podcast, I'm going to lay it down. So with that being said, guys, I love you very much. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for listening to this podcast. We do this every Monday, same bat time, same bat channel. I will see you guys next week. This is Studio Maguyver, and you have been watching and listening to Studio Maguyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.